Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Real Talks One podcast. If you recollect, just about a week ago, I did inform about Amazon is planning a massive layoff, and if we are to see the news, it has been confirmed that about 16,000 people have been let go. Before this news actually landed up and people got to know about it, already there were news around Oracle trying to basically let go of 30,000 people. Now you can see there is a pattern in this that a lot of companies who have been trying to build infrastructure for AI, doing a lot of capital investments, whether it is in data centers or procuring GPUs, etc., are now having trouble basically getting debt. So banks are now becoming very cautious. They do not want to lend to all these large hyperscalers and big tech companies to go ahead and invest in data centers and GPUs, because they're not sure there is a significant ROI or how quickly that ROI will be materializing. Up until last year, I would say early last year, things were still looking rosy. People were deploying like crazy, and you would see that now things have changed. People have started questioning, and just in the starting of the year, Microsoft also made a kind of a like a announcement. There was some rumors around that couple thousand people will be let go from Microsoft, but then they backtracked from it. But how things are, the winds are blowing, I can tell you that with Oracle, if they do 30,000 or even 20,000 people layoff, this will be one of the largest layoffs ever at Oracle. And it will not remain just with Oracle. You should see the pattern. You will have Microsoft, Meta, Google all in the line, and this should basically send shivers down the spine of people, because right now we have seen there is a trend that when one big tech player starts massive layoff, everybody else tends to follow. And this is exactly what happened uh, back in late 2022, Q4 of 2022, wherein all these players let go of thousands of people, including Google, Meta, Amazon, Microsoft, etc. So now I think this Q1 is going to be very, very tricky, as we would see these layoffs not necessarily due to optimization, right sizing. They can keep saying all what they want, but I think the trigger this time around is that they want to allocate the uh, capex for investment in their AI infrastructure that they are finding it hard to fund through the regular business, because any investment in AI thus far has not been giving any measurable ROI till date. So they want to cut headcount and divert the funds towards hardware and data center expansion, AI services, and things along those lines. Having said that, it is also important to state that OpenAI and CoreWave and other players who are primarily devoted towards AI, and whether it is Anthropic, and other players, uh, each of them also are experiencing some headwinds with respect to like how are they going to get their financing. Questions are being raised upon profitability, and several of the deals that were done, I did cover that also in like a circular Ponzi's kind of scheme, wherein Nvidia is investing in OpenAI basically buying Nvidia's chips, and they're also buying from CoreWave, and CoreWave have investment from Nvidia, Oracle, so on and so forth. And each of them are like kind of, you scratch my back, I scratch your back. So that's still continuing to go. But then there are some major developments that are also happening. So of course OpenAI has the lead in generative AI space, and they are the most recognized company. But then you would also see Claude has become one of the go-to players in the enterprise world right now, and people are looking towards Claude from Anthropic as the focus area for them. So that's that. But then you should also think about it that Gemini, the improvement that Gemini has shown now, what is happening is that for the core fundamental LLMs, there is not much difference between the different companies. In fact, pretty much the capabilities that OpenAI has, or what Claude has, or what Gemini has, all of them are more or less kind of equivalent, and none of them are perfect. So again, if you try to, like, it's more about like what you have integrated with, what you feel comfortable with. But largely all the major companies, whether it is Anthropic, OpenAI, Gemini, etc., all of them are bringing similar kind of models. All of them have similar kind of ROI. None of them are free from errors. So that's a big turning point that everyone has to understand this year. Last year, always OpenAI used to be ahead and everyone else was doing catch up. But in 2026, things have changed. Pretty much everyone is pretty much near about or in the similar kind of. Uh, it has also been proven now beyond doubt that there is no AGI that is going to happen. We have discussed about this multiple times, but now everybody has stopped the discussion about AGI. And we all know that while LLMs are very, very effective in analysis, summarizing, generating code, generating abstract ideas and things along those lines, but then they are still next content prediction, next word prediction, right? They're still those kind of models. So they're definitely helpful. A lot of repeated tasks, a lot of superficial analysis, etc., can be done through these kind of models, and people are using it, leveraging it, whether it is in coding, articulating different kind of white papers and things like that. They're leveraging it, but man in the middle, man in the loop is very, very important. Having said that, it is also being understood that you cannot fully depend upon them. So with lot of agents and workflows and agentic AI, etc., these are more kind of buzzwords and marketing words, but they are not replacement for actually doing solid end-to-end engineering and deploying end-to-end products in production. So it is not a replacement for that. I have been observing many companies who are now lean. They are not wanting to hire lot of engineers, which makes sense because if you have solid one or two engineers who are really seasoned and they understand their subject, you can pretty much build the whole product leveraging agents and these solid engineers. But then you need to have those key solid engineers in place. But if you believe that you could just hire some freshers who may not have industry knowledge, plus who are also new to using these agents, etc., then you can go some far. But assuming that you will build a like a lasting company just basis on them will be grossly mistaken. So this has to be taken into account. But again, as I said, if you can, you should definitely use Cloud, OpenAI, and other kind of LLM tools to improve your productivity, get the code up and running, and things like that. So it's very good for 0 to 1, getting some brainstorming, getting some ideas of the your drawing board to actual some working code and prototypes, etc. Having said that, I think my outlook for this year remains quite bleak, actually. I suspect that a lot of layoffs now will be focused on deploying funds away from headcount human beings to basically sustain their AI investments and things like that. And if this year still AI continues to be lackluster, does not return on, there is no return on investment as they have been planning, then I think chickens are going to come to roost, because this will be the fourth year of direct investment in LLMs and AIs. And anxiously, all stakeholders, all investors are now looking for the ROI, which is unclear right now. Just last year, Microsoft made a lot of comments around that. All the investments, whether it is in Copilot or overall AI space, etc., is not returning in any kind of measurable gains as they would have expected. So we'll continue to see those narratives. Thankfully, AGI narrative has passed away. But having said that, I will again be very categorical that This doesn't mean that LLMs are going away; they are still going to be here. But I do see some kind of consolidation going forward. So a lot of these wrapper companies who are small startups who would just under the hood either be using cloud or OpenAI and things like that, and just build some basic wrappers on top of that, are not going to sustain, because these fundamental platforms will basically launch a lot of features which will basically completely take away the business of these companies. And again, there are a lot of rumors and chatter about AI becoming sentinel, and there are certain articles I read about wherein they have made an like agents like 100,000 or 150,000 agents that are talking to each other on a social network. They have created their own religion, they have created their protocols, politics, etc. I think it is all garbage at this point of time. They don't add any specific value. It's just some random stuff that they have learned from the past. They're just using it and just creating it. So it's just a simulation or illusion, but it has no bearing on the actual material world that we have been. So I know this presentation or this podcast was focused upon the layoffs, etc., but I think it is also important to lay down the framework of how AI is shaping those discussions. And we will see more such layoffs triggered by AI, but this time because the funds are being transferred from the existing headcount to the infrastructure build for AI that is needed. Um, if you like this podcast, do share it with your friends. Consider subscribing it, liking this, and if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. And we will get back to you with a new podcast on a new subject. Please write to us. Take care. Enjoy your time, and hopefully we'll meet again.